And welcome to an investor roundtable brought to you by EQUITY.GURU. It's more of a triangle today than it is a roundtable because we have one frozen man in the corner who I have a feeling is going to spend a lot of money on lithium today. The rich guy above me making noise in the penthouse is Vishal, and the other poor guy in the basement is my man next to me. That would be Galen. He's kind of living in a little bit of a cloudy haze right there. It's kind of neat. I don't want to use big words like triangle, but I will use a big word like lithium. If you're wondering what it is, it's something that people want. The chemical element, the symbol is Li. The atomic number is 3. It's a soft, silvery white alkali metal. And right there is the key word alkali, because people want to use this for batteries. Batteries, batteries, batteries. What can you tell us, Michelle?
Well, Rob, the lithium market is hotter than ever. I know a lot of the retail crowd loves to watch uranium, but lithium prices just keep breaking out, making record high after record high. I'm talking about lithium carbonate, which is like used for lithium batteries. And as you said correctly, that's where the demand is coming from. Lithium is required for lithium batteries, and a lot of countries are, at that stage where to combat the climate crisis, they are banning gas-powered cars. And just to let you know, the list is growing and growing. Norway is set to ban gas-powered cars by 2025, South Korea as well. So, even some European countries in a couple of years will be banning gas-powered cars. Unless we're going to be driving those Flintstone vehicles, likely we're going to be driving, lithium.
Probably the only ones we're going to be able to afford.
It might be, right? Yeah.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. I had a Volkswagen Bug when I lived in Hawaii 30 years ago that there were holes in the floorboard of the passenger side, and you could literally run if you needed to on the way to the beach.
That's the way to drive.
Put your feet out the bottom. Right? Yeah.
But likely, we're going to go use lithium batteries. A lot of major car manufacturers are already switching their manufacturing lines to go into lithium. I think, was it GM that just went or is planning to go full lithium battery? I believe it was.
I think it's GM. I think
it was GM. Yeah, one of the
but
major.
But they're all investing hugely in battery manufacturing facilities. Ford is spending billions of dollars in order to do that. VW is also investing huge amounts of money in this. There is still, hydrogen as a technology and stuff, and that might come to fruition as well. There's also some interesting thing to be said about, I think, manganese in terms of as a battery. That in and of itself, as the technology progresses, may even be superior to lithium. But that's not today's discussion. Let's talk about this.
It's good with breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah. So, lithium is going to be required if we're going to be driving these cars. And that means that the demand for lithium is going to grow and grow, which is already, outstripping the supply. And for investors like us that, want to make some money trading lithium, we're looking for money to flow into these lithium projects, because if more lithium is required, because demand is so high, you obviously have to find and increase that supply. So, similar cases in a lot of commodities, we've talked about this with uranium as well, with copper, even with silver. But lithium is, something that's already developing. It's like happening now. This list sort of woke me up because, I sometimes forget it's already 2022, a month away from 2023. And a few countries are already going to be, banning gas-powered cars. So that demand is going to keep on growing and growing. And I think the interesting thing, like as a trader, or as an investor, but let's just talk about trading in general. I don't talk much about lithium because I can't easily trade it. You can easily trade gold, silver, oil, natural gas, palladium, platinum, but there's just not that one sort of major lithium contract, heck, not even a uranium contract that you can sort of trade. But things could be changing because of its popularity, and like prices are skyrocketing. There could be a futures contract coming. But the other big thing is that major commodity houses now, like Glencore and Trafigura, they are now jumping heavily and investing heavily into the lithium market, because obviously the biggest customer are huge car manufacturers. So there's going to be a lot of money to be made. And some of these big commodity houses are already investing in new lithium production sources. So they're already looking for these, miners or, companies that have a resource that are about to, that are shovel ready or are about to come online. And I find that quite interesting. And this image here, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, lithium, the annual mined lithium production is currently 30 billion. Compared to 165 billion for copper. And again, this is annually mined, so it's not like the market cap. But obviously, that number will probably have to increase if the world is moving to EVs at a large pace. So I think this is still quite early on into the lithium side of things. We'll probably talk about a few juniors and minors here and there, but I think there's one thing that me and Galen mentioned way back, and that is the one problem with lithium, and I've been told about this by my friends who are mechanics, is that when you get that lithium battery out, because you have to replace that battery, it's very expensive too. But when you take that battery out, you can't really recycle it or do anything with it. And in fact, that battery is actually just sort of stored away, and no one knows what to do with it until the technology is available, I guess, to do something about recycling that lithium properly, because apparently these batteries can also do major damage to the environment if they start to leak. There's one company that I found that is actually dealing with recycling lithium batteries and is making it into basically a circular economy. And it's called Li-Cycle, who are headquartered in Canada, but they are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And I actually do sort of think that instead of investing in, say, miners or lithium supply, or more supply coming online, because we know how mining is. Sometimes it's very fickle or hit or miss game. But I think a company like this that's actually investing in the technology to get the lithium out of these batteries and recycle it, it's something I've been keeping an eye out on. And apparently they have the technology. The chart looks actually quite fantastic, but we can talk about that a bit later. But Kellen, what's your opinion on something like this?
Well, it's an interesting concept. Lithium market is definitely expanding. We're getting all sorts, as you mentioned earlier on, legislative efforts to make sure that people are converting to the renewable energy, more specifically EV vehicles, or EVs, I should say, because that was a bit redundant. California is banning ICE vehicles by 2030. These are wonderful efforts. I don't know how effective they will be.
Right.
I mean, they may just end up extending their deadlines at some point.
Possibly, yep.
What we really have to do is deal with production crunch and the ability to manufacture decent vehicles, not Teslas, but decent vehicles that actually are going to be serviced after you buy them, rather than just being told that, it's your fault and just go away. And not being run by some lunatic. So if you can get into it, lithium provides a really good short-term exposure to the energy transition market as a battery or energy storage device. It's estimated that the lithium battery market will grow to, over 182 billion globally by 2030 at a CAGR of about 18% a year. So that's quite a stiff, climb. Yep. Now, the one caveat I have to that, as I mentioned earlier, although I misspoke and said the wrong mineral, so don't be taking any manganese, kids. That's not what you should be doing. It's magnesium.
Okay.
There we go. And the batteries that magnesium provides are exponentially better than lithium. Lithium basically is the best option commercially available to us at the moment. It is not, however, the best option. So there is a large chance that will be replaced by another technology. There's iron nickel batteries, I think. There's the idea of capacitors, if we can make them safe enough to discharge properly without killing everybody in sight. There's all sorts of other things, and hydrogen. That could also turn out to be something if we can produce it green enough. And there are companies now that using technologies that are actually coming close to being pretty well carbon neutral, and not necessarily impacting the environment badly. They're producing it well without the use of, fossil fuels. So all these things need to be taken into account. If you're willing to be very aware of the marketplace and understanding of the technology that's coming up through the pipe, by all means, get in on the lithium. It's going to be pretty big over the next little while, but be also very aware that could very easily be replaced. So, yeah, keep your eggs spread out a little bit on this one.
Spread your eggs.
Yep.
By the way, I'm a little shocked, you being a history major, Gail, that you don't remember that the magnesiums actually conquered the manganese at the Battle of Titanium in 1614.
Exactly. Yeah, I skipped that class.
I can't believe that. But anyway, they're actually both good for you at breakfast. Let's talk about the charts. You mentioned the recycling business. We want to go deep into that right now, Michelle. Let's talk about a small lithium company and maybe the broader sector market pings.
Yeah, so I like to follow the lithium ETF. It's the Global X Lithium ETF. Global X Lithium and Battery Technology ETF. So it's not just lithium miners. It deals with all parts of the sector there. It actually deals with, I'll read it out to you, invest in the full lithium cycle from mining and refining the metal through battery production. Here are some of their holdings. So Alberlay, Samsung, Rivian, Galen's favorite company too, Tesla, Panasonic, a few other companies, in Japan and I think China and South Korea as well. So it gives you a broad basket of companies dealing in this space, and I like to follow these ETFs because they tend to paint a picture of the sector as a whole. We've done this with other sectors, including gold and silver, and a lot of the shares, a lot of the stock prices look very similar structure-wise. So what I'm seeing in the lithium stocks right now is obviously, a lot of them have been in a downtrend. However, just recently, we are seeing signs of a potential reversal here. And I'm watching, LIT here. You have your downtrend, but the most important thing is it's holding this support, which has been held since April and May of this year. And usually when you see a support level like this, it's a very strong area where price can begin to reverse and show signs of reversal. And that's what I'm sort of seeing here. So investors, I think, should be quite excited. Nothing confirmed until we get a breakout above 70, though, on this lithium on LIT. And I think if that happens, you will see a lot of these lithium stocks begin that new uptrend wave. If we quickly look at that Li-Cycle, or LICY, the company that deals with recycling lithium batteries, very similar, right? You have this downtrend. You have a bottoming pattern. In this case, it looks like a W, and if you guys remember, we call that the double bottom pattern, and it's looking ready to break out, just like LIT. I just want to see a strong close above $6. You can see on the day we're recording, we tried to get that close above $6. Didn't work out. The sellers stepped back in, and we did not get that breakout. So this is sometimes why, I don't like to jump into things, because earlier this morning, it looked like the stock was about to shoot off because it was breaking out. But this is why I think it's important to just wait for those candle closes to confirm, because you would have been holding at the top there, and you would be down a few cents if you jumped in earlier this morning. So looking really exciting for the lithium space here. Of course, lithium prices just keep breaking out higher and higher, as I showed you here on the lithium carbonate chart. And I think it'll be sometime soon when you see the overall lithium miners and explorers space here begin to break out. So keep both of these charts, keep the lithium stock and sector on your radar, because I think you're going to see some breakouts very soon.
Get in on the lithium and get in early. And it's time to spend some dough on the general concept. Obviously, we're not selecting one company here. So we'll start, just to make this easy, we'll look up at the Frozen Guru, and I see him spending $7,500 on lithium. All right, good. Galen, how much for you? Let's say the ETF.
Okay, well, basically, I stand by what I told you earlier in terms of my faith in the market. I am going to spread out my money amongst different technologies. I will be putting some money into hydrogen. I'll be putting some money into other technologies like magnesium batteries, that kind of thing. And you can't eat manganese, by the way, but if you have any more than 11 grams a day, you could be in big trouble. So be careful with that. The magnesium, however,
not a doctor.
I don't recommend pounding it back, but it's pretty safe. All right. Now, I would probably go with 3,000 spread across the sector. So 1,000 would end up going towards lithium to just see where it heads over the next few months. So I'm going to go, I guess I should just say 1,000 because that's realistically all it's going there. Look at me replacing Chris's bet. Hold on 2 seconds. There we go. Let's just get that back up to where it should be. We're going to take mine to 1,000.
All right, $1,000 on lithium. And again, folks, this is all about the future of electric vehiculars.
Yep.
How much for you there, Golden Man?
I'm going to go full out 7,500. I think if you're looking for something long term, something like this Global X Lithium is even dollar cost averaging. If you want to buy a few $100s every month, I think something like this ETF is going to be very, very interesting for the future. Personally, though, as I said, I've been looking for a company like Li-Cycle, a company that can deal with recycling lithium batteries. So I'm actually very, very excited about this company. I would put a bit more of my 7,500 into this one. I know it's a bit more riskier, but I really have been looking for something like this. So let's say like 5K in this and 2,500 in the LIT. But I think the LIT as a long-term investment, the proper approach would be every month, buy maybe a few $100s. Well, that might be only 1 or 2 shares per month, but hey, that's the benefit of dollar cost averaging, right? You don't pay attention to where the market's at. You just dollar cost average on an ETF.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I believe you have successfully put lithium on the map.
There we go.
If I'm not mistaken. We can't guarantee future results from past performance or from what the fellas have told you today, especially the frozen guy. But we do highly recommend taking a closer look at lithium. Wouldn't we all agree? I believe so. Yeah, for sure. That's about it. Check out the lithium. Please do your own research before you invest. For Michelle, Galen, Frozen Man, I'm Rob. See you on the next Equity Guru Investor Roundtable.